I'd like to reconvene the Board of Education, Washington Unified School District Board of Education, August 27th board meeting. We do have some information that Board Member Alcala will probably not be present this evening. Closed session items, Government Code Section 54957.6, conference with labor negotiators, WTA, CSEA, management, and Superintendent Luna in attendance. Information was received. Government Code Public Employee Discipline, Dismissal, Release. Information was received. Government Code Section 54957, Public Employee Superintendent. Information was received. And if I can ask Board Member Leland to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Absolutely. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? I think there might be some modifications.
Yes, President Cruz, if I may, before the agenda is approved this evening, bring to attention consent agenda item N5 for a correction of July 6th minutes. The correction being that President Alicia Cruz was present for that meeting. Another correction to an agenda item under action item, the resolution 1516-03 in support of high school voter weeks, September 14th through 25th, 2015. The corrections being in the last paragraph that this evening it is being recommended for the board to approve and adopt this resolution by the Washington Unified School District and the Washington Unified School District Superintendent of Schools at a meeting held on August 27th, 2015.
Thank you. With those modifications, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Communications and celebrations. I think a celebration is school did start. Hooray. Just to add something in there.
And actually, President Cruz, we have a celebration presentation by our Administrator of Communications, Yorgos Kazanis.
Thank you.
Good evening, President Cruz and board members. As was stated already, I'm going to talk about some of the celebrations and events that have transpired in the community since our last meeting, just to keep you apprised of everything that's happening in the district. Just a quick note for everyone in the audience and anyone watching us at home. We are trying to be more proactive on Facebook and Twitter, so if you're not following us and you're active on social media, please get on there and follow us to keep apprised with updates in the community as well. So the first event that came up on August 14th was our new teacher orientation. This, as you all know, was a great opportunity for us to welcome new educators into the community. District staff was on site at River City High School. On the right, you see Superintendent Luna discussing the orientation seminar and giving an introduction to the new teachers. On the left is our picture of our human resources staff. They were integral in staging the whole event, and it was a great community event, an opportunity for all of us to build a bridge with the new educators and talk to them about different things in the district and in the community. And we also joined them on a district-wide bus tour as well, which was a great opportunity for them to get to know the community, the neighborhoods, and all the schools that we oversee in the district. The next event was on August 17th. It was our district-wide employee breakfast at River City High School. This was, again, a great team-building opportunity to actually gather most, if not all of our district-wide employees at the high school. District staff and our leadership team got together and served breakfast that morning. Again, it was just a great opportunity to get to know folks that we haven't met yet and get the word out about everything that's changing at the district. And again, just build that bridge between us and the employees at the district as well. So there's a couple pictures of the leadership team from the district on the right-hand side in the kitchen. On the left, you see the cafeteria at River City High School, full of employees. And the next picture gives you a nice visual of the attendance that we had that day from all the employees in the district. From what I understand, if I'm not mistaken, it was one of the larger gatherings that we've had in recent years. So it was great to see that as far as our employees coming together for that orientation and the breakfast and really getting a chance to connect with them on that level. As you all know, on August 19th, it was the first day of school here in the district. There's a couple pictures there. On the left-hand side is River City at the main quad area there on campus. On the top right is our principal at Elkhorn Elementary, Lisa Smith, and a school assembly on the same site there. And part of our efforts, or increased efforts, to get out in the community and make our availability and our presence known to our principals and school leaders was to actually make it a point this year to go to all the school site locations over the first 3 days of school. And that's going to be a continued effort on our parts also, just to make sure that our leaders at the communities and the individual schools have what they need in order to kick off the school year on the right foot. So the next event came about on August 21st. Kevin Bracey joined us at the YOLO High School site. If you're not familiar with Kevin Bracey, he's a renowned motivational speaker, and he really does a great job about preaching his core messages, which are about building the individual morale and the individual confidence of every child, every person in the audience that he speaks to. His slogan is "Each one, reach one," meaning that if each one of us is a better individual, we can reach one other person in the community, and that will, again, trickle out farther into the community and create a better climate for our community, our schools, and everyone involved. So it's been a great partnership. Our team at the district office and our student services office, they've carved out a nice little schedule for Kevin to actually visit many of our school sites in the coming weeks. The schedule is actually available on our homepage for anyone that's interested, and all you have to do is just go to the district homepage. And we urge people to join us as often as possible throughout these visits that he's going to be speaking on our campuses. We've gotten tremendous feedback so far from the students and the faculty at YOLO, and he was actually at Westfield Village Elementary this morning as well, and the feedback, again, was very positive. So if you're not familiar with the Kids Helping Kids Foundation, they actually got in contact with our leadership team at Westfield Village Elementary a little while ago, and I believe our principal and vice principal had reached out to them. Kids Helping Kids is basically a nonprofit organization, entirely student-run, based out of Santa Barbara, and they do a lot of community outreach, fundraising activities, anything they can do in order to give back to other kids in the community in Santa Barbara, but also statewide as well. So they connected with our folks at Westfield Elementary, and they were able to come up with a date to establish a visit. And they actually brought boxes of school supplies, brand new backpacks, and delivered those supplies to our kindergarten classrooms on site. And those are a few pictures from that day as well. You can see the group in front of the main entrance to the school with all the backpacks and supplies in hand. And then you see on the right-hand side some very excited kindergartners to receive some of these supplies. And again, it was just a great collaboration to help our students get the resources they need to start the year off right. We'd also like to, on behalf of the district, we want to extend a very special thank you to our local VFW post. Teresa Blackmer in particular, she organized a school supply drive, and I guess through the post, they've been organizing this event for the last few years now. And they basically reach out to local schools in the community, figure out exactly what kind of supplies and resources our students are going to need in order to start the year, again, on the right track. So this year, they found that Westmore Oaks was the school that's going to be receiving these services. They put together a list of these supplies, went about it, fundraised, got all the supplies together, and delivered them before the start of school. So again, a very big thank you to our local VFW post and Teresa Blackmer as well. Back to school night yesterday on August 26th. It was at River City High School and again at the Bridgeway Island Elementary. These are a few pictures from the site at the high school. Again, I think most of us were on site that day. A few of the board members were there as well. It was a great opportunity for kids and parents to meet their teachers, learn about different activities on campus, different clubs and athletics that are available to them, and it was a good team building opportunity as well. So you see different pictures there from the ROTC group, the the choir that was on site, and a couple pictures from the quad area. On the right-hand side, you'll see a booth that was up about our Bright CTE Culinary Arts and Spanish program, which I know most everyone is aware of. It's been an ongoing project in our community and in the district here over the last couple of months. And it really, looking ahead, we're looking at September 11th, which you're aware of, as our official district ribbon-cutting ceremony for that project. And we're basically going to be officially unveiling the Culinary Arts and Farm to Fork education program on site there. We've had, again, tremendous feedback from the community, both local, statewide officials, other public and private partnerships and groups that we've been working with over the last few months. Everyone's very excited to join us that day. We've devised a little program. It'll be the official ribbon-cutting photo op, followed by remarks and guided tours of the facility as well. It's going to be a really good opportunity for us to, again, engage with the community and show them firsthand what's transpired over the summer months, and especially as a result of certain bond measures like Measure V and all that. And again, earlier today, I was actually fortunate enough to meet with the Broderick restaurant founder, Chris Yarosh, together with our food services director, Carrie Pina. And I'll be honest with you, Chris was floored by the progress. He had seen a lot of the sketches and the blueprints in their infancy before anything was actually done to the campus. And I think he was just blown away altogether by the progress that the district has made and the crews have made, and that the fact that we're here at this point right now making this dream a reality for our students. So he's 100% committed with our event. He will be there that day as an honored guest and speaker. He's going to help us especially get the word out in the restaurant industry as well. Like I said, we've reached out to a number of different officials. The state superintendent of public instruction will be there. And lots of other folks in Yolo County and in West Sacramento as well have showed a tremendous amount of support. So we're looking forward to spotlight this program in particular coming up, and a lot of other programs and good things that are happening in our community in the coming weeks as well. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But that was just a brief glimpse of some of the developments that have been taking place in Washington Unified. Thank you.
Comments, questions?
I just want to say you're doing a great job, and thanks so much. And people are noticing the difference and getting the good word out there, so thank
Good.
you.
Thank you.
Excited to have you.
Yeah, I love all your pictures. You really include a lot of folks, and I don't think we've ever had it all in a kind of bundled package at the board meeting like this. So it's really great to see
Good.
that you're out there and involved.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
And it's so nice and easy to just click share or look at this to other people. And so that's been really nice. And I
Wonderful.
loved going to every school because sometimes it can be hard to get everybody and folks sometimes feel left out. And so I really appreciated the effort to really make sure that every single school is included.
Absolutely.
And that you're doing that. So thank you for that. The only caveat I'd have is if there's a share to post how it might be relevant. You know, if I know some of the pages were merged
Sure.
on the page, and so if it says this is relevant, you know, because we're doing this here.
Absolutely.
But it's been really nice. You've done a fabulous job. So
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
Yes, I get a lot of positive feedback from the community, especially with Facebook. You know, say this is what we've been looking for. So fabulous job, and I always enjoy seeing you every time I go there. But there was a few pictures missing. I was at every one of those events. I didn't see myself. Last night I saw Linda. She was looking for me, and I was corn on the cob. That's how she found me, because we sold corn on the cob. But anyway, thank you.
We'll do a better job with the photo ops. So
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Student Association reports. We have a new student board member. Welcome her, Anna Marie Rizzo. Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Marie Rizzo, and I'm a senior at River City High School. I'm involved in various activities, including sports, leadership, and then clubs. I am so excited to be here with everyone and look forward to the next year with you at these meetings. So thank you so much for letting me be a part of it.
Thank you and welcome. WTA report, Mr. Stoffer. I remembered your name.
Thank you very much. Yes, school did start last week. It's been a great start. I for one, am exhausted. It's been pretty harrowing the last few days, but mostly good. And we've got We've got good kids and good spirit, and we're all hard at work. I have to say it seems doubly hard this year, and I don't think I'm alone. I'm in the middle of trying to implement both Common Core and Next Generation Science standards into my classes. And so that is a fun process, and I do believe it's going to give our kids an improved preparation for their future. Couple of things that I want to bring up to you tonight, and this is a subject I know came up in the LCAP and we've talked about before, and that's the whole picture of student discipline. And I just want to make some kind of general things here. I believe there will be a need for calibration between administration and teaching staff to make sure everybody is on the same page. It's been, from what I'm hearing, the expectations of administrators are, in some cases, different than the expectations of teachers, and we want to make sure everybody is working together, and we can. Programs like Reach One, Teach One is one of those things that I know is being very well received by everyone involved, and so we need to really expand on those and make sure everybody is on the same page. The goal, of course, is that we want students to be treated fairly, but at the same time, everyone being held accountable for their behavior. And the teachers need to feel supported by their administrators. The record-keeping system seems to be a bit cumbersome and confusing. For instance, in ARIES, we have a tab for discipline, assertive discipline, as well as interventions. And so a particular problem may appear under one tab in one instance or in another tab in another instance. And I really think we need to get this so it's consistent across the board. Additionally, the SWIS system, the Swiss system, apparently is not open for teachers to at least look at. It's not necessarily input anything into, but clearly we're the largest group of people on the campuses, and we work directly with students, and yet we have no access to the system that is keeping track of student behavior. And so it's something I think we need to have a conversation about. I guess this is, in some sense, this is a part of the good news, because onto another subject, because our TOSAs all seem to be moving on into program specialists and other positions, but all of a sudden we have no TOSAs. It seems like we're down 3 TOSAs. And in addition to that, our BITSA program seems to be really short of people. I know the 2 high school teachers who do BITSA support at the high school each have 4 teachers, new teachers that they're working with. So I'm really hoping the district is going to work very hard to make sure we get a full TOSA group, because they do supply very needed services to our schools, and also consider redoubling efforts to get more people into the BITSA provider end of things. I really think 4 teachers for 4 new teachers for 1 full-time teacher is too much. And I really think those new teachers need more direct mentorship. And I'm hoping there's a way we can make that happen. We want all these new people to succeed, and I know with the new teachers I've met, we've got a really good crop of new teachers, and we want them all to do really well. And finally, I'm hoping somewhere along the way this year we can continue working on the K-8 schedules, especially the 6-8 schedules. We were looking over the number of teaching assistants at the middle schools. We have a middle school that has over 90 office assistants, teaching assistants. So these are kids who otherwise would be in an elective program or other thing. And this seems to me related to some difficulties with the scheduling system there. And I really think we ought to be looking closely at that this year.
Did you say 9 or 90?
90.
90.
Yeah. And that means there's a lot of kids who could otherwise be using their time more wisely, or our office teaching assistants. I know that Bridgeway has undertaken a pilot program this year on their scheduling, and that seems to be meeting with some success. And so I'm hoping we can work on those issues and get that widespread through the district next year. One of the consequences of the scheduling at the middle school is that the VAPA program sometimes gets shortchanged. And then I get complaints from math teachers, for instance, who say that they're having students pulled out of their classes on a regular basis to take part in band or one of the other programs. And so I'm hoping with a real close look at scheduling, we can have a system that accommodates our really good VAPA program, because it is a really good VAPA program, and also all the other core subjects at the same time. But I know I kind of put down a laundry list of stuff, but I have to say, I mean, it's been a very good start to the year, and things are going well. Thank you.
Thank you. CSEA report, I do not see Deborah or anyone from CSEA. Public comments, we have none. Board and superintendent comments, we'll start with Board Member Villegas.
Hello. I just wanted to thank all those folks, especially Angela and Linda, that came out to the Yolo County Fair opening gala, and I hope you had a good time. We had a successful fair this year, and it was really well attended. I just wanted to make an announcement. I got a flyer from BB Can regarding the Coffee with a Cop on September 10th from 6 to 8:30 at Sal's Taco. Please join them if you can. And then I wanted to let folks know that there was also another backpack distribution done by the Board of Supervisors at Rex Road and Oscar Villegas through the Family Resource Center. So a lot of the Washington Unified kids, I think they had about 100 backpacks going here locally. So it was a good drive, and appreciate everybody's efforts on that as well. And I think that's it. Thanks.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez.
Thank you. I've seen lots of very happy children on their back to school pictures, and parents who are very excited too to have their kids at school. So just a lot of exciting buzz going around, which is great. I heard a lot of good things about the Teacher University, the professional development that's been happening. So thank you to Assistant Superintendent Bill Spalding and his team. It's been nice to hear and have people stop me in the grocery store and say, I had some really good PD and we're really excited for what's to come. And also Kevin Bracey, that we hear about so much, and when you go and hear him, you know that he has an energy and a spark that's really special, motivates our kids. And Folsom, Cordova, had a tragedy in Folsom last year, and they needed to really pull together some support. And who did they call? Kevin Bracey. And so it's really nice to know that he's been here. We've been very proactive with our anti-bullying and with building a positive school climate. And it just feels really nice to be ahead of the curve on that, and so that we're not dealing with a tragedy and then looking at how we can fix things and bring in better services for our kids. So thank you to everyone for that. And BITSA was brought up, and I'll just throw out my piece that my BITSA support provider over a decade ago was one of the most influential people in my teaching career. And it takes a village for everybody, for our kids, but for our teachers too. And even to this day when I'm teaching, sometimes I'll think, what would Kay Lucas think if she was in the back of the room right now watching me? And BITSA can get very bogged down with paperwork that's hard to negotiate and feel like hoops that you're jumping through. And so I just really want to make sure that we have enough support in place for our new teachers, because we don't want BITSA to just be somebody helping with paperwork or bogged down. We really want that piece to be navigated through together, and then to have that support of having somebody watch you teach, take notes, give you feedback before your principal comes in and gives you feedback. And it can be such a collaborative, powerful process when done correctly and when there's a good match. So I just really hope that we look at good matches, because there's no better investment than our brand new teachers. So thank you for that, and thank you for all the work that everybody's done to have a good start to the year.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and go out of order, 'cause I can't follow Mary here. So I'm going to go ahead and I have attended almost a lot of the outings that we've had. I attended the new teacher orientation and the back-to-school breakfast. On behalf of the board, I gave them a good welcome back speech, and it was nice to see, especially the new teachers. We have a lot of brand-new first-time teachers. And so if I was correct, there's about 35 of them. So it was nice to see all the teachers. And they were all excited, of course. The back-to-school breakfast, there was a very large showing. It was really amazing, and everybody seemed in good spirits. So it was good. And I know Mary and I toured the Bright campus, the Bright Cafe. It is amazing. If you haven't gone out there, get a chance, come to the September 11th, grand opening. But there is no words to even talk. I know we have pictures that are priceless that we're going to remember forever. So very exciting for that. I attended the back-to-school night at River City last night. Again, another amazing event. All those clubs that were out there, just to see the kids excited, the parents. I visited some of my son's classrooms. The teachers were just so excited, full of energy. I'm going to come back in a few months, see if they still have that energy. But some great courses, and I'm excited for the school year also. Also, River City is doing some great, fantastic electronic reminders for the kids, the parents, and maybe, Dawn, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I just got it last night. Is it remind.com? Remind.com. Everything is electronic. This is second week, and also texting the individual teachers, and I'm getting texts like crazy and emails like crazy from the teachers, about their projects or their homeworks to do, and it's so exciting because the kids get extra credit too for joining, and so it's just really an exciting time. One of the classrooms had the Chrome tablets, and the kids were just so excited to hear about that and ready to use them. So just an exciting night last night, exhausting but exciting. And so I just want to again say thank you. I'm glad school has started, and all the events hopefully have passed, and looking forward to the new snack bar and all the sports that are coming down. So hope to see you guys out there. And I'm going to let Board Member Leland have her public comments.
Okay, thank you, President Cruz. It was a magical tour at the Culinary Institute for me, and really felt full circle. As a consumer science, home economics major in my undergraduate degree, being able to go into a state-of-the-art commercial kitchen, I just could have only dreamed of something like that in my four-year university. It was amazing, and so really full circle. It was really fun to be there with Alicia, because we really appreciated all the equipment and the gas ovens, but the thing that I enjoyed the most was having my picture taken with Alicia by the giant mixer, which I immediately sent to my grandchildren, telling them I was shopping for this mixer so I could make them lots of cookies all at one time, and I'm sure the little ones believed that. So it was really full circle for me to see this opportunity for students in a career tech field in West Sacramento, and already 100 and probably 30, 40 already signed up for the program. So that is just amazing what you were able to do over the summer, Scott, and all of you in instruction, human resources, hiring. I mean, everybody. And Carrie has been amazing with that whole project. So we're going to have a big party on September 11th and hope everyone can join us. But that whole full circle kind of brings me to my next comments, and that's a letter that I want to read to you that I am sending to Dr. Jesse Ortiz. So this letter is to inform you of my intent to resign from the office as trustee of Washington Unified School District. As you're aware, and then I quote to him, pursuant to Education Code 5090, in order for me to resign from my position, I must file a written resignation with the county superintendent of schools. I intend to resign effective October the 10th, 2015. I very, very much regret not being able to fulfill my third term. However, I have had the most rewarding experience serving as your K-12 trustee in West Sacramento for the past 11 years. And this isn't my last meeting, so this is not a goodbye letter, but I felt like it might keep me focused a little bit. In this journey, I've seen many positive changes in our academic programs, improvements in our facilities, Scott, and a strong outlook for the future of the district in hiring Linda Luna as our new superintendent. I want to say the current board has taken an important step in the right direction with the appointment of this new leadership. My fellow board members are hardworking, passionate, and a phenomenal team of educational leaders. They all work together as a strong governance team. And I just want to say the district is very, very fortunate, and I wish Norma was here, to have them serve this community. I have not regretted 1 minute of the many long hours both preparing and attending meetings with Don Stauffer. Been in almost every one of those in the last 11 years. I'm excited to be making a huge transition into retirement. I'm moving home to Texas with my sweet husband that joined me at the meeting tonight. I'm so happy, Mark, that you came to support me tonight, because I know you know how emotional this is. To move home to Texas to be closer to my family, with Mark, and especially my 3 young grandchildren. Woohoo! These are happy tears. The Washington Unified School District has exceptional students, parents, staff, teachers, administrators. It's a great time to be WSD, and I believe it's a great time to leave WSD in good hands. So thank you all so much, and I'll be at the meetings in September, but I wanted to let you know before I had really told the rest of my family out in the community. So just love this district, just admire all of you, and I'll see you at the next board meeting after this one.
Thank you, Mary. You're going to be well missed, but we will give you a proper send-off. Lemon bars for everybody.
My favorite. Did you hear that? Alicia's lemon bars.
Okay, now we have superintendent comments.
Good evening, President Cruz, Board of Trustees. Want to give a brief update, a little bit on what's going on in our district, in addition to what Mr. Cazanes had shared earlier, but also what's going on in public education in terms of some new legislation that has just recently occurred. So we're going to start, of course, first with thanking everybody, because it has been a fabulous 2 weeks. Starting school, everybody is tired, absolutely, because there's so much energy that goes into starting school on the side of staff and administration, because we want everything perfect. And it was, of course it was. And so we want to thank our parents for getting our kids ready and getting them here to school. Each day, we had more and more kids registering, so that was really, really good news. And we welcome all kids with open arms into our school district and to our schools. I want to thank our teachers who have worked so many hours over the weekend and the evenings, and even in their dreams, thinking about the first and opening day of school, and all the staff that prepared it to look so beautiful. Our campuses are all gorgeous and pristine. And it's because everybody's been working together. And so I want to give a shout out to all staff, parents, and of course the students who have come back with smiles on their faces at the end of their summer break. So last night, I experienced my first back-to-school night here in Washington Unified School District. And you know, I also attended the graduation of River City in June, even though I had not actually started here yet. And I walked away from that graduation in June saying to myself and to also some of my very close friends, it was the best graduation I have ever attended in my 32 years at that time of education. The best. It was just perfect. The weather was perfect. The setting was perfect. Our kids were perfect. So incredibly well behaved, so well organized. And then I go to back to school night last night. And I have to tell you, I was amazed. It was the best back to school night of a high school, a comprehensive high school I've ever been to. I am so proud to be a part of Washington Unified, and I learned so much last night at River City High School. So, first of all, you could just feel the excitement. Parents, met many parents last night, and they're just thrilled about this coming year for their high school students. Met a set of parents who have their last student who is a senior that will be graduating this year. And they're already with tears in their eyes. I mean, it's the first week of school. So it's just a lot of excitement, and all of the staff was just really wonderful in all their presentations to the parents. There was also a huge sense of community with the band and the choir performing while we could go through the different tables and sign up our students for the different clubs, and also get fed because everybody's hungry at that time before going into classrooms. A whole sense of community, parents sitting with their kids, everybody just excited, alumni coming back to see teachers. It's just a wonderful sense there. The other feeling and emotion that was very prevalent is just that feeling of support. Our teachers have very high expectations, at least the classrooms I went into, very, very high expectations, but yet there is a support mechanism there for them. And so there's a lot of support. I stopped by the basketball table, didn't sign up, I just want to make that clear to everybody, but they were taking student sign-ups on the basketball team, and just that whole sense of support. The music teachers, oh yes, we want our kids in music, but we're going to make sure that they do really well academically. It's just a great place to be. And it was a great turnout, a really great turnout. As it got closer to 6:30, more and more parents came, and then it got really crowded. And all the hallways just were filled with people walking through. So congratulations to River City High School, the administration that was out there, all the staff that prepared to receive our parents and our kids. So one area that I specifically visited last evening in terms of the classes was the World Language Program. And I got to tell you, I'm blown away at what we offer our students here. And it's a secret, because here I am, the superintendent. I had no idea about the different languages and the different, the different levels of instruction for foreign language that we offer here. So we have classes in Spanish at all levels. And what I learned about that is not just learning the language of Spanish, but we also have classes for Spanish speakers to learn more of their language in Spanish. And that's a rarity, where our Spanish is really differentiated to really meet the different needs of our students. So what I learned was Clases de Español de todos los niveles, and that's Spanish classes in all levels. I also learned we have lots of French classes. And our French teacher, at least the one that I visited, has a very wide background. And the other thing I learned in the French class last night was that we have 10 international students that are attending River City High School. And I didn't meet them, but I watched them walk in. It's a family from Belgium that are international exchange students, and he is taking the language of French at River City High School. So in French, we do have classes at all different levels. So we have classe français à tous les niveaux. So it's very impressive what we are able to offer our students. I also walked into another classroom where we had the Russian language being offered for our students full-time, and I'm totally blown away at that. Now, I will say I really didn't understand what was being said in the classroom, but I can say that there is Russian language taught at all the different levels for our students to take in preparation for college and career readiness. So, in Russian, classes at all levels, Ruske klase navsek hurunvonyak. I still have one more to go, and I'll be really glad when the next one's over. So I also learned in another classroom, we offer Chinese. We have a beginning Mandarin class, and they were parents were asking questions about, is this conversational Mandarin, or is it basic, the basic structure of the Mandarin language? And what I did learn, it is, we have a part-time Mandarin, highly qualified teacher, and so saying beginning Mandarin classes, it's Hai Shi Punchunghua. So we have a lot to offer our students, and we have stellar, highly qualified teachers teaching our world language program. I want you to know why this is so important, because in my third goal that I keep talking about college and career readiness, foreign language is an A through G requirement in which our students, as they look at their college pathway, are required to at least accomplish 2 years of high school foreign language. If they want to look at a UC system, it is recommended for them to take 3 years. And so here, River City High School is preparing our students to do that. I'm very, very proud of our high school.
Linda, and also the athletes that are under the NCAA,
Yes.
they're also required to take 3.
Absolutely, very good. So I can tell you that our students have lots of opportunity and lots of choice. I'm very proud of the high school. The other very, very touching program that I learned about last night in back to school night was the workability program. And that is a very special program in that this workability program is what we call a school to work program, where our students of special needs are trained for a very successful transition from school to employment and to advanced training. And I particularly, as a coffee drinker, a very heavy coffee drinker, know now where to go first period, and that is to the River City Coffee Shop. And what I learned about this particular program last night is that our students are being trained to be very young baristas. They are actually going through the business model in this workability program about costs, about expenditures, about the shopping part of it and ensuring they meet the needs of all their orders. It's amazing. If you're a coffee drinker, I would really encourage you to visit first period, and I'm sure I'm looking forward to my cup of coffee.
Linda, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but right before you came, the board did donate an espresso machine to them also.
Beautiful.
We did.
Beautiful.
And they delivered coffee to the district office, so hint, hint, just saying.
Ooh, they didn't tell me that because they wanted me to come there. So I did see the espresso machines, and they specifically gave me that the espresso machines are off to the side versus the general coffee area. So thank you for that. Thank you for that information. I'm looking forward to that. So moving on to what's happening in public education and what is affecting Washington Unified School District with the changes going on. Yesterday, Governor Brown signed Senate Bill 725, which is the official suspension of the California High School Exit Exam, which we know as CASE, for the 2015 school year. And some people kind of have a double take on that because we have completed the 2015 school year. But what most people don't know had happened is that the CASE is given in different months so that students who need to take it more than one time can take it at different times in the school year, whether they're a sophomore, a junior, or a senior. But this year, the state eliminated the July 2015 CASE exam making about 1,000 students in California unable to have a high school diploma in their hand and enroll and begin even their junior college, community college work by not having the passage of the KC. So realizing that about 1,000 students in California were being affected by that, the legislators immediately started to try to resolve this issue because it affected too many of our students. So what does SB 725 really mean for us? What it means is that the seniors who did not pass KC in May 2015, they actually may receive now a high school diploma if they have completed all other high school requirements, such as the amount of units that they have to take. And so if some of our seniors who did not pass KC in May 2015 did not, were able to take KC in May, did not pass it, but have all the other requirements completed, they are now able to have a high school diploma in their hand. And I want to thank Principal Mostic for actually already going out and connecting with those families that is affecting. And so that's what Senate Bill 725 means for us. Just for a heads up, there is some work in progress for another Senate Bill, 172, as they are moving forward to look at suspending the KC all the way through 2018 until they really get in order the appropriate accountability system for high school, now with California standards in place. Another thing that is coming about that is going to be very public now is the California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress, which we know as CASP. So CASP is what our new assessments were called, and we took those in the spring of 2015. So this past spring was the first year of official assessments to be what we call now our baseline. And so as baseline results, this year, all school districts will use the results of the CASP to make their mark on now showing progress from this year forward. What we want to remember is that this particular CASP was very different than what we had, what we called the CSTs. And the CASP was computer-based, completely computer-based. And they were also aligned to the new standards, which our state superintendent is now calling California standards, but they're also known as a Common Core. So we're going to transition out of Common Core into the nomenclature of California standards based on the preference of our state superintendent. So the big question is, can we compare our last 15 years of California standards test, the CSTs that we've been taking for 15 years, can we compare it to this new CASP test? And you'll see there on the diagram, it's apples and oranges. It is apples and oranges. There is absolutely no comparison that can be made. Two different standards, two different kinds of tests, two even different modalities of taking the test. There's also a different system of measuring student performance. So the CSTs, how about the program improvement and the proficiency levels, all of those don't exist anymore. So we're really unable to compare. And I know we want to. We want to know, how are we doing now with this new test compared to the way we used to? We're really unable to answer that because we're talking about two different things. So in answering that, the state, the California Department of Education is taking that pretty seriously. Here's a quote here from the state deputy superintendent of the CDE regarding looking at comparisons of the past 15 years to this new exam that the results will be coming out. So DataQuest is where everybody in the world can go on the CDE website to go and get all the test results of all the different schools. And so what they have done is they have actually wiped out DataQuest for the past 15 years, and you will no longer be able to find that on DataQuest, the proficiency levels, the past 15 years of program improvement or advanced, proficient, All of those kinds of markings, you will not be able to find them on DataQuest. The state is very adamant that now we are looking at a fresh look of new results from a new test. And that's why they have done that. So we want to work hard at communicating that. It's really hard, I think, as parents. I'm always comparing last year to this year. And so we have to help our parents do that. There's no comparison right now. We're starting this year. These are our results. Here's where we are. And now, more importantly, here's our plan on how to grow and make progress. So here's our next step. September 9th, 2015, our CASP results will be public. In other words, parents will be able to see the results of Washington Unified School District as well as everyone else in the state of California. Knowing that, the district will be preparing a parent communication about the results so that when they receive the results, they'll be able to kind of have a general understanding of what some of the terms mean and even what the scoring looks like and what it means. We are committing to doing a board presentation on September 24th, which is the annual accountability presentation for all boards of trustees to know what the outcome is of the school district, where we're beginning, and then where we will be going, and what our expectations are in progress for next year. And lastly, as the teachers and the administration receive the results of the CASP, then that's our work of preparing instructional plans and collaborating together on how we're going to meet the needs of our students to be more successful on these California standards, thus more successful on the new exams as they are given each spring. Any questions about the CASP or anything about SB 725? So my hashtag, since I've been here, has been great to be WUSD. And tonight I'm changing my hashtag, I'm changing my tweet to WUSD, the place to be. And I really mean that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Did you have a question, comment?
I just had a very quick comment about the assessments just for the board. It's so nice to hear you speak, Superintendent Luna, and your knowledge and your depth of knowledge on this, and it's really refreshing, so thank you for that. As a caveat that I'll just share with my board colleagues, as we think about our testing, because we're going to hear it, DataQuest was wiped out, but of course all the damage that DataQuest did for a decade, wasn't wiped out. And so I just want to reiterate as we think about tests and move forward, it's for transparency, but the teachers can't talk about what they see on the test. So the testing, is that another earthquake?
No. I don't think it's an earthquake.
But the testing company doesn't have accountability. And I would just share with folks as we move forward and look at it that, for example, the writing assessment, teachers so know their kids. We know our kids. We know where they are. We know where they're struggling. And as I poured over my students' scores, I had to ask myself, did somebody who was paid $10 an hour with a college degree who sat possibly in their home grading this writing assessment know this student better than I did and saw one writing assessment for a few seconds? And the answer was no. And so I just want to throw that out to us, that we're really careful about how we look at them, especially the writing. We want to give our kids the best education possible, and I feel like there's a real lack of transparency with this test. So just for us, as we look at them and move forward and can best advocate for our students and for all the hard work that everyone's doing. So thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Trustee Kirby-Gonzalez. And it does remind us that this is a snapshot. It's not a cumulative of everything that the students have learned for that year. I mean, really, I'm not sure that there is actually an assessment that can do that. And what I really love about Washington Unified is that we are not just addressing the basic skill sets, of course, that our students need. Of course we're doing that. Of course that's our charge. but also the other part of education in addressing the other parts of children, such as our visual and performing arts, such as world languages. All of those help to increase the academic rigor that our students can do. So thank you so much for those comments, and very, very well spoken.
Anyone else?
Great, thank you.
Information and discussion items. Item M1, public input on naming of the new campus previously known as Bright Elementary. Bill Spalding, Assistant Sup of Education Services.
Good evening, President Cruz, members of the board, Superintendent Luna. So we have some exciting things that are happening. We're in the home stretch with our new program. We've been able to open our culinary program. There's a lot of work that's going on. And so some of the, one of the things that we need to do still is to name this school. We have a name for our program, and we'll be celebrating that and celebrating the new culinary program. But as you know, the Bright campus, as it is called today, is going to house so much more, that there's going to be a large career and technical education contingent. So there's some work that needs to be done in terms of naming it. I did want to show you, although Mr. Kazanis stole my thunder a little bit, but we do have the name for the program. Some of you have been on the board for a while, probably remember when we started talking very conceptually about this farm to fork idea, that we would have culinary and we'd have farming and we'd have these other things. And at the time we called it FEED, F-F-E-E-D-D. Renee Collins, who's so much smarter than I am, came up with something called Culinary Arts and Farm to Fork Education, and worked very hard with our secondary specialized program funding this summer with a group of teachers who have developed a course sequence for a full-blown Culinary Arts and Farm to Fork Academy. That will be coming your way in the next few months after we've had a chance to take it through our curriculum council so that they can see it and see all the great work that's been done. But there are very exciting things that are happening, and all the things we talked about years ago. And you've seen Mary Kimball here before us, and the YOLO Farm, and other small plots of land and things that we've done to do some small urban farming. All those things are coming together and being connected. I really like that. I really like that logo. Speaking of logos,
They have my name.
we had to bring out the defibrillator for Mr. Landsberger because he thought that I actually had spray painted that on the side of the wall there. And he pointed out, he said, now, you know, Bill, the actual logo goes on the marquee that we'll be putting out in front. So your name would not be there. It would be on the marquee. But it's the work of the board to name schools and new buildings. And I had to kind of go digging through some very old board policy because it's been a while since we've opened a new school or reopened or repurposed a school and named it. So I wanted to show you a little bit about what we need to do. I want to correct some of the language that was in the transmittal because a lot of it sounded very action-oriented. In point of fact, this is an information item. It's really more to get you all thinking about possible options for the naming. There is a process, and our board policy calls out that we hear from an ad hoc citizens group. So we're looking to convene something pretty shortly and get that information back to you. So we're not spending a lot of time. We do want to get this school named, but the board policy indicates that it can be named after living and deceased individuals who have made outstanding contributions to locally, nationally, internationally, or the geographic area in which this school or building is located. Renee had an opportunity while working with this group of teachers this summer and with some of our partners, talking to folks who have been working with us on the culinary side and others who have been advising our group of teachers. They've run through some name ideas, and I just want to share those with you now, but I want you to know that they're just ideas. They're not hard and fast. There are other options, but just want to kind of get you thinking about it, and you may have some other things of your own that you want us to consider. The one that group that was kind of looking at it, and this is not the Citizens Advisory Group, this is a group of teachers and some of our partners, but they like the idea of Bright Career Education and Training, or BSET, so that you can be set for your future, you can be set for your success, you can be set for college and career. So that's one option and one idea that's out there that's floating around. So I rather imagine you may see that again as people start to kind of consider that. Another option was the Bright Technical Institute. Maybe a little drier as a name, but one that really speaks to, kind of the work that we'll be doing there. Because remember that it won't just be culinary, but there will also be, we have a career construction program there, and we're looking to bring in biomed and some other things. So that would be kind of an umbrella title. Another one is Bright College and Career Training, because one of the things that we also want to do is make sure that, even in a career technical education program, that we really have our eyes set on college and career readiness, and that there are students who will be there who might be accessing college careers from a career technical education program. And the academic programs that we are co-locating at that school site are things like world languages and integrated math. So all things that are A through G requirements. So it's not CTE or college anymore. It's both, or one of the other that you can access the same way. And of course, option 4, any other options could be other things that you may want to think about that we would probably hear from this Citizens Advisory Group. But what we're hoping to do is in the fall, bring you forward some possibilities, and I wanted to get you ready for that tonight, that at some point in the near future, you'll be naming this school, and we'll be hearing from folks. Any questions?
Questions, comments?
I have some comments. When I saw your picture that, almost sent Scott into a tizzy, your name here, reminded me of some of the philanthropic materials that we do develop to give, and that's what I thought you were doing. We're going to give somebody an opportunity if they want to give us half the cost of that construction, then they could put their name on it. And this is done all the time at high schools, public and private, and at community colleges. So I'd like that to at least be an option out there. And for us to think about that. This is an information discussion item. So I got really excited, and I'm still excited about that possibility, that we could then use Measure V funds, divert that for some other project that we have, because this is a great opportunity. It is an opportunity for a mayor that loves to eat and has a 50th birthday coming up. I think, if, at times we've raised money for certain individuals in lieu of a naming going up for them. So that's one way to get some buy-in to what we're doing. Everything else in this town has been named for McGowan, so we could probably, take that out. But I'm really not joking. I really think that we need to come up with, because this doesn't happen very often, that we have opportunity to name a building, and we need to put somewhere in our policy to add in those categories that you had the first two of a philanthropic opportunity. And the board can decide, what does that philanthropic opportunity look like? Is it a certain percentage of a new building? And that's how we usually calculate it. You decide on, is it 10% of new construction for the name of the actual school? So put that aside. That's my opinion, but I think it's important for the future. You're going to have new schools. You also have opportunity within the culinary program to name certain kitchens and mixers. So did you hear that one, Mark? We could get our name on a mixer. But you can put a name on anything, and people like it when it's shiny and new, and you could do that. So I think legally, the school district accepts donations all the time. You don't really have to have the formal nonprofit to do that. But with the new buildings, this one, and in the future, that's important consideration. As far as the options, I'm just going to throw my vote in there on the ones that I kind of got my attention, and that was option 3. I would really like, the first one is great, the career education and training, and I like the set your path to success and the way that all flows. But I like the fact that when you have a student that is going to search and put in college or career, that the Bright campus would come up. Or the Sarah Kirby Gonzalez campus, whatever you want to call it. But I just liked the fact that all along, when 10 years ago, we were talking about these career and technical programs, that we felt it was so important to align those with college readiness, and that we weren't, these programs were for access for all students, and students that do want that training in a career, but also meet A to G requirements to go on to college. That was all such an important integrity part of the career and college emphasis that I wanted to see. So I like somewhere in there college and career training, because I think that speaks to what our initial focus was in setting up these career tech programs.
Well,
Oh, Norma's here.
While I like some of Mary's ideas, I also would like to just chime in that I think it's important that the community definitely is involved.
Yes.
And one thing I've always liked to see is actually giving our students maybe a contest. And even if they're not the winning name, at least, show some of those runners-ups, because I really like the students. Maybe if it's the 130 students at the school at the time, to definitely have an input, whether they're the winning name or not, but just so they can appreciate and feel part of the process. And I'll be excited to see the choices, because I disagree with Mary. I like number 1. So I'd be interested to see what everybody else comes up with, and I'm sure we can all come to a happy medium. Any more comments, questions? Welcome.
Can I just ask quickly too? I really like this logo. I almost feel like, why didn't we have this logo before naming of the building we just did? But where are you thinking about this logo now going? I mean, is this a logo that we're thinking about represents now as we talk about the Bright Campus? I'm just wondering if we see this, because I've seen a couple places mention cafe, culinary arts, and farm to fork education. So I'm wondering if if that fits in somewhere, that acronym that we would start using ourselves too a lot, or
It's a logo for the program, and for the
Okay.
program itself, and just for that program.
Okay.
It was sponsored through the specialized secondary programs. It was one of the aspects of what they built. But it only goes to the program, so it's not like we're really naming the campus or the buildings
No.
after that. But what it does allow us to do, and Carrie Pena and I have been talking about this for a long time, is some food services in school districts have branded. And in their branding, they are able to do catering, they're able to go out, I mean, you can do catering regardless. But it allows for kind of more of an entrepreneurial positioning for some of the food services. So this allows us to do a little bit of that too, especially if we trademark it. It's going to speak to the work that's done there. It's catchy. It's something that's exciting to people, but I think it's also something we can use with as we send our kids out through this process, through, if we're going to be doing any kind of catering or any events and that kind of thing, that we now have a brand that we can use.
Great. So when we talk about then the program, the curriculum just for the culinary, this is an acronym that we
CAFE.
could use. Okay, thank you.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved?
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are to action items, approval of resolution 1516-03, establishing September 14th to 25th, 2015 as High School Voter Week.
President Cruz, this particular resolution is being brought forward in Education Code 49040. It actually states the last 2 weeks of April and in September as high school voter weeks, and is supported by the Student Voter Registration Act of 2003. Particularly, we want a recommendation to the board in regards to this particular resolution, as it does provide an opportunity for those who are generally underrepresented at the polls, such as our students of 18 to 24-year-olds, immigrants, our seniors, our low-income populations and stakeholders who generally just are not at the polls. And by bringing this particular awareness at our high school in particular, it helps to get that word out.
Thank you. Are there any questions, comments? Can I have a motion to approve the resolution 1516-03? Is there a second?
I'll second.
This is a resolution, so I need a roll call vote. Board Member Villegas?
Aye.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez?
Aye.
Board Member Leland?
Aye.
Board Member Alcala? I too vote aye. Action item 02, approval of selection of Alejandro Ramos as Capital Audit Educational Regional Consortium Representative and Renee Collins as the CAERC Alternative Representative. Bill Spalding from Educational Services.
President Cruz, this is an item that comes forward to you as part of the consortium that we are in for adult education. It's the Capital Adult Educational Regional Consortium. AB 86, which was passed a couple of years ago, really restructured and redefined adult education delivery in the state of California, and it really sent schools and community college districts together into regional consortiums that would provide really seamless and integrated adult ed programs. In the development of that program and in the development of our consortium, and this is the Capital Area Consortium for Sacramento Valley, we are in partnership with a number of districts and the Los Rios Community College District. And Alejandro Ramos, as our principal of adult education, has been attending those meetings. That's been our representative in the creation of our governing structure. So we are asking simply that he remain in that position, be our representative to the district, and that Renee Collins be his alternate. As you know, Renee has quite a bit of background in adult education and through CTE. So it's just a matter of getting a vote from the board to approve their selection as representatives.
Bill, was this the program that we, was Program of the Year last year? Or was that a different program that?
No, I think that's the one you're thinking about is the transitioning to adult living program through special education. And that's for adult, those are for adult students who are special education students. So this is one.
Was that the one Norma and I attended with the consortium and Alejandro was there?
Was that in
With
Sacramento?
Los Rios?
Maybe that was. I don't know that it would be an award-winning program yet, though, because they're still in the process of forming. Was this a Golden Bell Award?
No.
Okay, because
It
that
was
would
in
be our
Woodland.
transition to.
It was in Woodland. I think the Board of, YOLO Board of Education Awards, wasn't it? I know Norma and I
Awards of
went.
excellence.
Was it Golden Apple?
Excellent awards, yeah.
Okay, that might have been.
Yeah, because there was, the whole team was there, some
Okay.
folks from Los Rios.
Oh, okay, no, I know what that was. Sorry about that. That was the program that we've been doing with Sac City College and the Allied Health Program.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we've been
That's
doing
what it was.
2+2 articulation. I'm sorry, I blanked out there for a second. That's not this program.
Okay.
Okay.
He's just involved in everything, I guess.
He is, he is.
Do you have any questions or comments on this? Can I get a motion to approve the selection of Alejandro Ramos and Renee Collins as the alternate?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Action item 03, approval of board resolution number 1516-02 for authorization of deposit /withdrawal in the local agency investment fund, LAIF account. Scott Landsberger.
President Cruz, this board resolution is being brought forward at the request of the Yolo County Administration. They transitioned from a auditor controller office to a Department of Financial Services office, and in the process of doing that, they had changes in titles for the officers within the organization. As such, they're required to pass a resolution that shows those particular officer titles as being the individuals that can move money in and out of the LAIF fund, which is your local agency investment fund. It's pretty much where all the cash in the county treasury sits, and it's invested on a short-term basis. So this is pretty much a housekeeping resolution that will allow them to have anybody who's in those positions move the funds around on behalf of the district.
And there was a mention of modification earlier, if the board can remember, by Superintendent Luna. Is there any questions or comments, or? I get a motion to approve this board resolution? Number, what?
Second, so moved? What?
First,
First, okay.
I'll second.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's a resolution. Board Member Villegas,
Aye.
Board Member Kirby Gonzalez,
Aye.
Board Member Leland,
Aye.
Board Member Alcala, and I too vote aye. Board governance, I know all of us have been kind of working on our own board governance personally, but I do want to remind everybody, we did continue our second session, and it's for September 12th. And I think, Sarah, are you going to any board governance trainings or anything?
I just gave, yes. But I don't remember what
Okay,
I just gave them to Angela, so. Yep,
we're good.
I'm going to 2.
Anyone else? Are you?
On the 28th, is that the one you're going to, Sarah, on the 28th?
Was it
I don't
Florida?
think so.
And whether-
Hold on.
No, we're talking probably CSBA. You're
I'm going to 2 CSBA. They're for the Masters in Governance courses.
That's great.
President Cruz, if I can just remind the board that on September 28th, the Board of Trustees and the team for the LCAP are all invited to attend at the Yolo County Office of Education. County Superintendent Ortiz is bringing together all 5 school district Board of Trustees who would like to attend, and also LCAP administrators to attend, so that this coming year, we're able to really work well together and collaborate about each other's LCAP and the process that the county will be putting in place. So that's September 28th for their board meeting, and dinner is going to be served. So if you would like to attend, we can certainly put in your reservation for you. Thank you.
Any more board governance conversation? Future board agenda items, we have Q1, the graduation policy, Q2, the K-9 detection program, September 10th, and the MOU between the Lighthouse Charter and Washington Unified for September 10th. Are there any future board agenda items?
I would just, maybe in the next update that we get, it might be nice to see, you talked about Superintendent Lunas, and people were still enrolling, and so just seeing what our final numbers were would be great for our update.
Does that need to be on the agenda, or is it
No,
something?
I think just an update.
Her update
Yeah.
that she gives us? Okay.
And actually, there's one more piece. I don't know where it is right now, but it was SB 799, which was the reserve cap. There was some good information put together also that the board might be interested in as you look out and hear discussions of that. So you can be prepared to talk about how SB 799 would affect the school district. So that would be a good thing to send out too.
And if it's okay with the board, I know Ms. Alcala got here. Did you have any public comment, any comments of anything you wanted to? Okay, I just want to give you that opportunity. Thank you. Okay. If there's nothing else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you all.